Good morning, everyone. It's me, QW with Artisan of Glimmith. It's a new day. I feel a lot more patience today, which is good because this game has wrung every ounce of it out of me. So I feel like I can get through a puzzle or two without having a fucking meltdown. Do we have any more sixes left? Let's do some sixes. Sevens. I like sevens. I just want to see if I can make sure that's all we got left. There's this guy. Okay, let's do a little bit of math here. 144. So the 84s are all going to be one region, that's for sure. That gives me 60 left over. And if the minimum is 5, and we got a bunch of 5s, chances are they're all 5s. 65, there's 12 of them. I have to sneeze already. I swear I will go through an entire day without sneezing, but as soon as I turn on my recording software, I feel like I gotta sneeze. I guess I'm just allergic to attention. Anyway, oh, mismatch. Okay, that's the trick. I like that, actually. Alright, so let me explain. I feel like you probably caught this quicker than me, but I'm gonna explain in case somebody with my level of intelligence is watching and needs the help. So, I've got 144 cells to fill. I've got this 84 to fill, and this 84, this 84. Obviously, all of those have to be connected. There's just no getting around that. Because you can't fit two separate 84s in this space. Great. The rest are going to be filled by these 5s, because there's a minimum of 5, and 144 minus 84 is 60. So if I had, say, a 6 in here, I would need a bunch more 6s to get to a multiple of 5 to fill the rest of these 5s. So it's safe to say all of the pieces that aren't the 84 are 5s. This mismatch then tells me all of them have to be different. I don't have to worry about the 84. It's the 5s. 60 divided by 5 is 12. There are exactly 12 pentominoes. And, I don't know, a time to complain again. I'm not sure if you're supposed to learn about this in this game, because the game doesn't teach you this. I only know how to do this because of other games. And I didn't know there were only 12 pentominoes till I did a bunch of these puzzles, which is fine. But, we use letters, F-I, L, N, P, to determine, like, the shape of it, so it's easier to talk about it. Like, this is the C pentomino, this is that, this, that, and the other. So the 12 that we have available are these. So when it comes down to it, I gotta figure out where to put each pentomino once. And I can't have the pentominoes touch each other. So these have to be together. Well, for sure, all 84, I'm gonna make that the blue. Nope. So I've got to make sure that with these 5s, for instance, like this set right here, if this 5 were to move left, obviously we'd have to connect it to all of those, because otherwise we would have a size separation problem. I really like the setup for this puzzle. I hope that the actual solve of it is as good as the setup is, but we'll see. So 84, this, okay, so let's, for now, I'm just gonna put orange on all the 5s, and this is wrong, in the sense that these two are gonna be the same unit, and I want to use different colors to distinguish the 5s from each other so I know what shapes I'm using more easily, but I'm going to just do this for a second so you can see the maze that the 84 is to crawl through, because now we can see that this piece of 84 must escape this way. And it could go all the way in here if we'd like, but it might not. We've got to do it like this. And then at all times I can be checking the amount of space we have remaining. 105 plus this 5 here, 110 spaces remaining after that, etc., etc. And if this ever gets down to a very, very low number, then I've done something wrong. So this has to go here. Is there anything else? We can go through here or there or there. I got 3 places we can cut through, unfortunately. I kind of wish there was less. That would have made it a lot easier. Let's assume there is not anything here. This can't all be orange, right? Because if this was all orange, then all of these would be connected, which is bad for so many reasons. So these can't all be connected to each other, which means that whether or not we have a blue here, here, or here, there has to be one here because they're all connected. This must be blue. So we got to bring this 5 out, and this blue now has to come out connected to the 84 here. Now, does this 5 come out this way or go up? Because we still can extend and make this the Y shape. Can I do this trick anywhere else yet? These two go together. This 5. Because I can make this a V shape. I can make this a V. I can make it an L. I can't make it an I. If I go up this far, it's the Y shape. If I go just this far, it's the L shape. But it won't be that. Actually, I should think about it this way. If this is an orange, then all of them are orange, because we can't have an orphan cell. Because if I do this and then put blue here, that's a problem. So either we have a V shape or we have a Y shape here, which is something. I can at least write it down. What does that tell me? I suppose if I made this orange, I'd have to go here, which would force a Y shape, and then I would just put blue there, which is fine. It doesn't really answer a question quite yet. Now in this area, well, let's think about this section back here. How much of it's going to be blue, right? I could make all of it blue, which is fine. But if I don't, let's say they can't all be orange, right? Since they can't, because if all of them were orange, these would all be connected to each other, right? Would they all be connected to each other? No, they wouldn't all be connected to each other. They could all. Well, if they weren't. Okay, so if none of these are blue, they're all orange, they would all be connected to each other simply because of size separation. Because if they aren't connected to each other, if I said, we got a 5 here and a 5 there, we've got 2 5s next to each other, which we can't do. Which means at least one of these is blue, and if at least one is blue, then that is blue. We can do the same now with these 4. If these are all orange, then we've got 5s next to each other and all connected. So we've got to bring this in at least one more. Can we do it with this? If these 3 are orange, then we'd be connected like so. So I've got to bring this at least here, and then that's that. So this 5 does have to come out, connect here. So this is the Y right here. The reason this is the Y is because I can move it up, but I can't move it further because I've already got 5, and it's touching 2 other 5. So it either becomes a 7, or we have, for instance, that. So that's not going to work. So that means these are connected. We're going to have to go down and connect here. We've got the Y set, so I'm going to change the color, and I'm going to remove it from my list. So I know I don't have to find a Y. And assuming that my logic is correct, we've got 1 down, 11 to go. So now the blue has to be here because we can't put a 5 next to a 5. So now it's time to work on the rest. Is there any way this is a 5? No, it can't touch any of the 5s that are here. So this is part of the 84. This can't be orange, or part of a 5, which will become non-orange after a while. Because if this is a 5, then it has to connect to that one, and then we're in trouble. So that's also this. I think we do the same thing up here. Nah, this could be part of that 5, just fine. This one must be the 84. Because if it isn't, the only 5 it could attach to is over here, and then it becomes a 6. So that's that. That wasn't super helpful. So now this 84 has got to escape. This can't be a 5. If this spot right here is orange, what's it connect to? The only 5 it can reach is this one, and it blocks in the 84, so that's that. Can this be orange? It can only connect to that one once again, so we have that. Can this be orange? I have a feeling no, because it's not going to reach any of them. So this is all 84. Did that? How about this one? This one could be. We could make it a straight line up just fine. Okay, can I do a trick again? These passageways feel pretty restricted because they can't obviously all be orange. There's got to be blue in there somewhere. But they don't all have to be entirely blue, right? In fact, they all can't be. So yeah, we can't put blue all the way through here. Blue cannot cut in. There's got to be a block. So blue doesn't go through here. It's either going to go through this one or this one here, or both. But not this one because this guy will be blocked. So it's got to move up or left. Which means what? If it moves up, then it would connect here, and then it can't move left because it'll overload, which puts blue there. Now, if we move it left, it connects, and it can't go there. So this is always blue. So the question is, which direction does blue go? It either is going to do this or it's going to do that. Now, if I come this way, then this here is either an F shape or a W shape. Does that do anything for me? Yeah, I think so. This would actually be the F shape, because if it was the W shape, then this piece has nowhere to go. So if I made this the F shape, then this would... Let me walk through that a little bit more carefully. So I know this is blue. So one of these two is orange, because this guy's got to escape. If I assume that he escapes up and the blue escapes this way, this much is done. Now this 5 is going to either go here or there. Can't do both, because now we got 5s next to each other. If it moves up this way, it becomes a W. Now this 5 can't move down or left, must go up, and then it would just be part of that. It's actually quite fine. But it can't be an F if it was that, because now this piece... No, it's fine. It's totally fine. There's actually kind of a lot. Okay, that's why I needed to walk through that again. If I go this way instead, bring this up, this definitely connects, and now connects to here probably. But then this can't move left, so we have blue here as well. Let me look into that. Hold on. Look at a little more. If I move up and I have this, I can do it, but if I move left, I also have to put blue here, because I can't, this would be too many, this would be a 6er. So blue goes in both of these spaces. Which means what? Would I ever put orange here? No. If orange goes here, then blue comes in and then we're cut off. So blue also has to go down here. So if this moves left, I've got to take it down like this. And I have a couple options. But that's got to be there. Which means what? This either moves up or left, or both. Don't see why not. Let's see. This space here, if I made it orange, we've got 4, so these would both have to be blue. These would both have to be blue. Doesn't seem to cause a problem. Probably don't want that, but I could do something like this and then just have the blue cut through this center piece. If I did put blue here, though... Well, if I put orange here, can I put orange there? Because I can do a checkerboard pattern. Because if this was like 2 regions only, and a big 84 and then a big 60, then no, they couldn't have checkerboards. But I can do checkerboards because, you know, this sort of scenario, because the blues have to connect, but the oranges don't. Maybe I can think about shape that this will have. It feels like there's a lot. S and L for that shape going this direction. And going up this way becomes a W shape or an F. So yeah, 4 possible shapes for this and narrow anything down. I can also be thinking about the cross shape. The cross shape is a particularly vulnerable shape because it requires a 3x3 space, even though it never uses any block of space, right? So it has very few arrangements it can go into, and it can't rotate. Like an L shape, you got L, but you can also rotate it, you know what I mean? But the cross shape is always the cross, and it doesn't rotate at all. So places you can put the cross shape are rare, few and far between. So like, where can I put it? This could potentially be a cross shape, right here. This one can't. That wouldn't work. That can't work. I don't think this could be a cross shape. This one could be like so. This one could be here. So not only a few places, they seem to be in here. This guy can't be a cross shape. because it always touches a 5 inappropriately. There's a spot as well. Okay, we haven't been able to narrow that down. A C shape is also particularly difficult to come up with, but I don't see an answer for that yet. This 5's got to do something. We can make a V shape here. Let's suppose I cut in. If I cut in with this, we'd have to go here. Yeah, then that's a problem. That's probably what I should have been looking for. This 5 can't cut in here, because then this 84's got to cut, and then now this 5's got to go up like so, and we have a problem. So this has to be blue, which means this has to come out, and this has to be the V shape. There's really no getting around it. I'm pretty sure we're on the right track. I'd hope so, because it feels like I'm making logical choices, which means this piece. If the 5 connects here, it has to move down. If the 5 doesn't connect there, this still has to move down. So that goes down. This moves over here. If we go here, it's an S shape. If we go up, it still bends. So this has to go here. That's got to go like that. Is that right? No, because what if we cut through? If I block this, yeah, we'd have to cut. It's got to escape. Yeah. Okay, so we have the S shape here, which I'm going to make yellow today. I think we've got that right. Usually, if it's working out, it's correct. So now this has to come up this way. And now we've got this piece here. This, like we had before with this one here, it's got to go up or left. If it goes up, it can't go right. It's got to connect. We just can't go left because then it'll overload. So if it goes up, that's blue. If it goes to the left, we have the same problem. This is always blue. So I think as before, if I go up, we got to make all those blue. If I go left, it can't go left again. So this is also always blue. And if this goes left, it goes down. If it goes up, it still goes down because it's going to have to escape. Therefore, this again goes down because if we move, if this is blue, it's got to go down. But if it's orange, then it moves down as well. So yes, this will move down. This has to move down. This 84 is connected. This might be my favorite puzzle in the game so far. This is actually really good. Because I am having a hard time, but like I have a logical step I can always work with. I'm not just staring at a big piece looking at, well, let me guess this spot. Well, that didn't work. Let me guess that spot. Well, that didn't work. Let me guess that spot. I actually, the puzzle is pointing me to very particular places to look to give me what to do. That means we can't set the blue has to go through here because it can't cut through this way. This now has to all be blue, which means, ooh, we're either going to have a T-shape there or a T-shape here. And I think this is where our cross is going to be. Actually, no, there's still going to be a cross here somewhere. These can't. Where can our cross be? Our X. I think the X has to be here, right? Where else can we put it? If we do this, right, we would have to do a Y. Oh, yeah, we can't connect these two because it's a Y shape, right? Because we can't do that. It's two 5s next to each other. This is two 5s. This is two 5s. So we have to go up like this. It means that's got to be there. We can't make a Y shape, so that's got to be here. So F shape or a cross shape. Now, unless I can find another space with the cross, I think this is the cross. It's got to be somewhere. And all I can say is I hope I'm right. Because if I'm wrong, I do not know where to go to fix it. So if I put blue down here, this has to move up. It's going to be part of a W. If I instead move blue here, this still has to move up. So that goes here. These connect. This must move up. So it's either a W or it's... What would it be if it wasn't a W? This could be an N. It could be a P. It's really all it could be. Has a few options, this one. If I didn't connect these two, I can't take either of these pieces. I'd have to make a Y shape, which is illegal. We've already done that. So these do connect, which means that is blue. So it's a question of, is it S shape? It isn't an S shape. I've done the S shape already. This is a W shape. Alright, so I've done 4 shapes. I should have 8 left. That's correct. This shape will not be orange because then it would connect to this 5, which would block in the 84. So that's blue. That's blue. I feel like that's the X. It's the only place I can put it, but like I want to be careful because I don't know for sure. Sneezing again. Good grief. Hold on, this has to be blue this whole time. I was looking at that. This here could reach. That could be L. Oh, now this can't move up because it makes a W. So that's got to be like this. This has to come down. It can't be S, so this is the L shape here. I've got a lot of unused space here. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. But let's keep going because I don't know any different. I hope I'm right, because if a player has an aha moment in a puzzle, you don't want that aha moment to be wrong. Because then it destroys all the fun you're having. So I want it to be right. This must be blue because no other 5 will reach. We can't touch the 5 with another 5. This one could reach all the way here. We could have our I shape here. Let's think about this shape, this one here. If we don't take this spot, then we have an I shape. That's all we can have. If we do take this spot, what do we have? V shape is taken, Y shape is taken, and L shape is taken. So as a matter of fact, this has to be an I shape. It's not complete yet. I don't know if it goes up here, up there, or down there. We'll see. But this has to be the I. So I'm just going to underline it because it's spoken for, even though it's not finished. Which means this can't be. This all has to be part of the 84. Which means this can't be the I shape, so it can't reach there. That's got to be blue. This can't be, what can it be? This can be a P shape or an N shape, but if I don't put orange there, I have a problem. So that's got to be there. This could connect. Yeah, it could connect just fine. I can also think about where that C shape would go. C shape can be this one. It can be this one. It's pretty limited. Here, this one, these two already don't have it. C shape, oh, C shape could be that. I got 3 spots for it. That's one spot, this is a spot, and then this is a spot. Now I could technically put a C shape here, but that's a problem. Can't do that. And this is size separation violation, so none of that. F shape's got a couple spots. I shape's taking care of N shape, P shape, T shape. So at this point, this is the cross shape. This just is it. So what is this one? This shape must connect here. It must. It must connect to this piece. The reason is if it doesn't connect here, if we put blue in there somewhere, then how am I going to, if I go to the right, I can't, this piece, this is blocked. It can't go that way. So it'd have to go here, in which case now it can't go left again. It have to go up. And now blue is completely blocked from the left side of the map. So this has to be orange. This has to go up, which means this could be a P shape. This could be an F shape or a T shape. And I'm actually thinking it's the T shape because there's no other place to put it. This has got to be your X. Let's get rid of that. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shapes left. I've got, this can be a T shape. This can't. This can't. This just doesn't fit. T shape needs a 3x3 block. This can't be it. This can't be it. The only place to put a T shape, that can be T shape. So let's watch out. Now, where can these reach? This space, that space. This space is already used and it blocks the blues in, so that's there. So that means all of this is blue. Whoops. Interesting. Like, my instinct when doing these puzzles is to think, like, game designers tend to fall into certain patterns. And there's a tendency in a puzzle that is like this puzzle where you have to fit a number of smaller pieces into a larger space. Most puzzle designers will spread those pieces out. So when I have this big block of blue, I panic because I think there needs to be a non-blue space in there. But that's not always the case. That's not always the case. It's just that I panic about it thinking I must be doing something wrong. These must spread out more. But I guess not really, because there's no way the 5s would reach this far anyway. So now it really is this or that or that. Oops. It is not this piece. We know that much. We need to bring this through, which means this is the N. We've got that settled. So is there any other place where N is a risk or worry? Not sure. So T is still possible down here, but not likely, I'll tell you that much. The only way to get this orange down to this spot is with a Y shape. So this orange is going to be contained entirely in here, right? Because if I move here, for instance, I don't have enough spaces left to reach. So if I move this way, then yeah, I could do that, but it's a Y shape. Which means this is here? Yeah, the only way for this 5 to reach is a V, oops, an S, or a W, all of which have been taken. So this space is blue. This space is gotta be blue. If this space is orange, we're gonna be blocked in. So that's blue. If I put the orange all the way over here, I would have an L, which is taken, or a Y, which is taken. So that's blue. So C is possible. F is not possible here. Where is F possible? I've got the I spoken for. I got 4 pieces left. 1, 2, 3, and 4. This can't be an F. This can't be an F. This one can't be an F, I don't think. Can it? Yeah, the only F is... yeah, it's going to go into there. Right? Because in an F shape, hold on. In an F shape, we have something like this, right? That's an F shape. And it's in a 3x3 box. But in that 3x3 box, only one of the corner pieces is it. So there's only one arrangement you can do of an F shape with the corner piece. And it is that. So yeah, this can't be the F. So the F piece is here. So this is that. Then that means the C shape is one of these two. And the T... oh, the T shape now is down here because it's the only place to put the T shape. So that's that. That gives me a P shape and a C shape. I've got it. Okay, so the I shape now. So the P shape is here. That gives me the blue here, which gives me the I shape up there. Then all that's left is C, which is going to be here, and it's going to be the way I arranged it before. And we're done. There we go. That one, oh my god. Now I wish I did this one the very last puzzle of the game, because I want to go out on a high note, because I have so many things about this game that I absolutely despise. But the puzzle design on its own, it's got so many good ideas that it just feels like sabotage to be put in a game like this. God damn, but this was a good one. Right here, I want to just bask in this moment for a bit of like the best puzzle in the game. Here we go. So whichever designer did this one, gold star to you. If you designed any of the puzzles I hated in this game, that wipes it out. But you don't have to tell me that. I just want to say, whoever designed this one, get hired by a better game developer. There you go. Any other 6s? I'm not gonna hit the highs that I just hit there, but we'll give it a shot. Boxy, rose windows, watchtower. Great. How many rose windows do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. 28 boxes. Does that matter? Probably not. So, let's think about where these go. This is interesting. 3 regions. These all have to be different. So I'm going to just... the colors don't matter right now. So I'm going to do that. We've got to do that. So now what rose window, what symbol do we touch? It's got to be that one. Is there any way we don't do that? No, because if we... yeah, we can't touch any of the other ones here. We can't do that because we break the watchtower. That's that, and that's all it is. We just got a 2x2 box there, which means we need a wall here. So whatever goes on this spot, let's make it just regular blue, has got to touch a rose window. Now, there's always the possibility we do something really stupid like that, but I have a feeling it's not that. This could extend all the way here, but that's as far as we can go. Actually, let's think about corners for a second on these two watchtowers. If I have a unit that starts here and then it stops, right? This is the only part of this watchtower it touches. We'd have these walls, which would mean we need one region here, and that region is now non-boxy. So that can't happen. So the red can only go that far, at the most. This red also cannot stop here. It either moves down or it moves left, but not both, right? So if it moved both, it would take everything. And if it doesn't move either of them, then something else has to be non-boxy. So if I moved this one down, then it would be this region. If I move it across, then that's the region. And that's the region. And that's the region. And this all works in a very, this is like the stupidest thing ever, but that actually works. It just, I don't know, something about that feels very stupid. If I did this instead, though, what would change? Well, now I would need a separate region here. I'll make it yellow. And this region would do what? Go here. It's not as clear what happens if I do that. But one of those two. This way makes it very funny. But I'm going to change this. I'm actually making this the yellow region. Let's look for something else that's more obvious what I can do. Ah, hold on. This was sitting at here the whole time staring right at me. This is the yellow region. It's got to be, because it's got to touch a thing. Now this one here has got to touch a rose window. It's got to be that one, and it's got to fill the rest of this in. So these got to be done. And now down here is less obvious what I want to get going. I need 3 regions here, so I need a separate region. So let's suppose it's neither the green nor the red. Well, now the red can't touch a rose window, so that's not the case. Let's suppose the green moves down. Red still has a wall here. It doesn't touch any region. So the green needs a wall there. It's got to move out that way. And the red needs to move down. Now, does it do this kind of thing? Because it could. Or it could just do that. This needs to be a new region. And this region, obviously, it's got to come down. It's got to be a straight line at least that far. Make it a little bit lighter so you can see the wall I just drew. So this red will go all the way down. Because if I do this, right? Now, how do I make 2 regions here? Right? 2 regions has got to be boxy. So it's either horizontal or vertical. Now, if it's vertical, right? If I have a line here, then this region is either non-boxy or it doesn't have a rose window in it. And if I do it this way, then this piece has to be non-boxy. So this has got to go all the way down, and then we've got to have a region like that. 3 regions here. I feel like this has to move down. If it doesn't, then whatever this region is has to then do this, right? Because if it doesn't, this will make a non-boxy thing. So they would have to do this, and now we would need that, which means there's nothing there. So this has to move down, and then I think it stays there. Because we could have 2 regions like this, or we could have 2 regions there. We'll see. We'll see about that. What else can I do? This piece can keep moving, or it could stop. We don't know. Do I have any more gimmies? I feel like I gotta actually work now. Actually try hard. What does this do? I mean, it makes it obvious it's 2 regions here. Well, or that. If I stopped it here, then I would definitely have to do this. And then I'd have to have a separate region here. And this would be a problem, I think, because now what does this region touch? Because it's a straight line. Is there any other way out of that? If I put the wall there, we've, 2 regions in this area, and we've already got one of them, so it has to be this. which means this can't bend because then it would take all of them. Yeah, we'd have to have another region, and that region can't reach any of the circles. So yeah, this has to come out at least once. And then it can't stop there because then we have a corner on a 2, which we can't have. So it's got to be the straight line all the way in, which means now we have whatever this region is. Probably does that. Yeah, if we make this a straight line, we're in trouble. So we got to make it like that. And then we need to stop it because we need another region here, which is different. And now we need... so if I block this here, we're going to have 3 regions. So we got to have... Oh, no, not if we do it that way. Well, we've got this... Because we can go that way, or we can go it this way and then have a new region in there. Now up here... Whatever this region is, needs to move here. Because if it doesn't, we have a straight line. And it doesn't touch anything. So that's for sure. Now, in here, what do we do? There's 3. Oh, there's this 2. This has to be the same region. Let's suppose it isn't the blue. Let's make it a new region. This right here is a new thing. Well, now, if we bring it up at all... We've got this, we can't take it any further, and we can't take it into there. So we'd have to make it a straight line. That ain't going to happen. Therefore, this is the blue region. We have this going on. That's got to be here. Okay. Now, in here, yeah, this is just going to be a simple close that off. And then to get these pieces to work, they have to touch this rose window. So that's that. This goes here. And then that goes down. That's got to be right. Then this piece has to come up, does it? It could stop. We could just say that's all it is. Now, if we bring it up, we'd have to bring it up all the way. Now, this right here, that would mean this and that. That's all well and dandy. But can I still do the trick of, like... I can still do this. Something else is going to have to disambiguate that. How about this piece here? Will that be done? I could just leave it. I don't know. If I move this out all the way... Well, think about it. This piece can be a single red. It can move out this far and stop. Or it moves all the way over because of this watchtower. If it moves all the way over, now I need 3 in here. This is going to be tricky because this piece... Alright, let's suppose the one I make here, this blue, if I move it in any direction, I have to put walls and everything else. This piece is now broken. If I do it the other way, this piece is now broken. So this would have to be a solo piece. This one here would have to go to get, right? Yeah. Because now whatever's here, yeah, hold on, it has to be like that, which means it would be this, and we'd be in trouble. So no. This is as far as the red can go. This must be a different thing. If I do go out this far, then what? All I know is I can't do that, but I still have 2 options here. This obviously is going to be 2 because it's boxy. This isn't doing anything. The only thing it's doing is making sure I don't do that. This would be problem? No, because these are fine. I just bring something through. Maybe this I can solve. If I put a wall there, that means whatever goes here has to go all the way to there. And now we're broken because what do I do down here? Right? This piece can't go that direction. And then this piece can't go that direction, so nothing can go here. Therefore, the blue does go down. We have a wall here. These are separate regions. This region can extend out all the way to here if we like. This region now. This region can't extend to this rose window because we have the same problem down here. Therefore, it's got to bend down and catch that one. It's the only other one it can reach. So it's got to go at least that far. And now we need a wall here because it's got to be its own region. So this one right here has got to go at least that far, which means we need a wall there. That's taken care of. Oopsie daisy, or need this. And then this piece could theoretically go there. And then we have a different one. It's fine. If I put a wall here, then what goes here? It would have to touch that, we'd be broken. So no, this has got to go here. I think the same. If I make a separate region here, it's got to be that, then it doesn't touch things. So it's got to go all the way across, which means these two got to go together, which means this doesn't. Is that right? If I do this, I have to put these two together. There has to be a wall. Yeah, this is fine. This is what it is. Okay. Just making sure I didn't break it, because I thought I did. Now, can I figure it out from here? This is going to touch that one. There's no getting around it. So the question is, do I bend over? If I bend into here, I got to take these. But if I don't, if I put a wall here, then this piece would have to go all the way up. And now what do I do here? I'd have to put a wall there, and now there's nothing that fits in here. So no thank you. This does have to bend in this way, at least this far. And now we have to have a single piece going this far. And it can't go here because now we have that corner issue where this would bend, so we have to stop it there. Do I have this right? Let's see. If I move this out, I can also bring this up. I'm not totally sure. This piece here. This piece right here can't be connected to that because then it would break it. So this piece is somewhere else. Now, if I bring this up and I make that all one thing, I'd have to keep going. Which so far so good. That actually works. If I brought this out just one space, then I'd have to bring this up. Let's make that blue. Now what would I do here? This can't be because then we have to go all the way across. We already worked out why that doesn't work. So we'd have this here. And then if it moves this way, it's broken. So it has to go up. And we have the same problem we had before. So yeah, this can't come out. This has to be its solo piece. So does this one come up or not? Well, let's imagine I put a wall here. Then this piece here can't touch that one, and it can't touch that one. The reason it can't touch that one is it would be this, it would break the watchtower, so we'd have a straight line. Therefore, this has to be part of the red. Do I have the same issue here if I make this not red? Because it can't be that one. It can't be that one. It has to go in a straight line. We have the same problem as before. So we've got to bring this up, and you've got to bring it up this far at the very least. So now these two go together. So the question is, do I bring this up? I can bring this up this far only. It would have to stop because any further breaks that. Or I bring this up. If I brought this up here, then they'd have a wall here. There'd be a piece that doesn't attach to anything. Therefore, this comes up. That stops. We've got this going on. And this needs to be green. Because if it's a new color, then what happens here? We're screwed. So that's green. So this blue color now can't take all of that, so it's got to take this one. It's fine that this goes straight up from here because we've already solved this 3. That's done. That means this piece needs to go up. And something needs to happen there. So that means this piece can't go like that. It must be here. So that solves that. That's got to be like so. We've got a separate region here that must go down. So it could be this, or it could be a new region. Either way, what goes into this space? Can't be that. Let me think about it for a second. Either we have this or that. Those are the way the walls will go when it's 2 regions. This way would force this move. which actually solves the puzzle, I think. I think we can solve it with this. So the answer here is there. That's a pretty good one, too. Not quite the high of the last one I did, but that's good. I think I don't want to risk doing another puzzle because the chances are it's not going to be as good as the two I just did. I definitely made the right call by shuffling through all the earlier parts of the game and dealing with the bullshit puzzles then, because now I am really getting to the good stuff. Although I still question why it's on this island. Why is there this endgame island? These puzzles could easily have been intermingled with the other ones. I don't see why they're here, right? Like, why is there an endgame island with hard puzzles? They're good puzzles, but why not just put them in the game proper? Now, the only thing I can think of, actually, now that I say that is, it's extra content. You finish the game, you want more. But who the hell wants more of this? There's 1,200 puzzles. I got my fill. You give me endgame content because the main game only gives you the basics, and then you say, hey, for an extra challenge, do these, right? That's what this is communicating. That's what the devs are communicating, whether they meant to or not, is this is now extra content to sate you if you weren't satisfied with the puzzles we gave you. Now, I wasn't satisfied with the puzzles they gave me in the sense that I was happy, but I was satisfied in the sense I was full. It'd be like if you forced me to eat 27 raw tomatoes. I hate raw tomatoes. I'm not going to... If you put me in a room with a raw tomato and the only way out was to eat the tomato, I would just die. I hate them. But, like, if I ate all of those 27, maybe more than that. I don't know how big are tomatoes. If I ate 100 tomatoes, I would be satisfied in that my stomach would be full, but I would not be satisfied in that I would be happy. And this game has filled my stomach many times over with raw tomatoes. There you go. That's the best I can explain it. There's tons of raw tomatoes that were forced down my gullet. Forced. I could have stopped playing at any time. But then I'm not playing the game, so, like, the way to enjoy the game is to not play the game. Like, who the hell designs like that? So we have this area that says, okay, now that you've downed 127 raw tomatoes, would you like to have an ice cream? And I'd be like, well, yeah, but I'm not going to fit it anywhere. There's no room left for the ice cream in my stomach because you filled it with 127 raw tomatoes. Like, this, I don't know, it just seems so basic to me. That's the thing that makes me so mad. It's not like, well, you know, you've got this big game dev team and they're doing their best, but stuff slips through. It's more like, this is just basic. Any video game director would have told you in the first week of development as you're planning stuff out, they would have said, so you're not seriously planning to put 1,200 puzzles in this, right? You're not seriously doing that. You got to cut your scope down. That's what their job is, the director or producer or whatever. And it just seems like this team didn't have that guy. This team was just a bunch of guys going, I've got 300 ideas. I've got 300 ideas. I've got 300 ideas. What if we put them all in a big bowl and fed them to our customers? Like, it's such an obvious problem. It's such an obvious flaw that I don't know how you didn't see it. It'd be like if you made a first-person shooter and then didn't give me a gun. I'd be like, yo, that's the thing that goes in the shooter. Anyway. Cool, I found a way to complain. Even though I just played 2 fantastic puzzles, I found a way to complain. There you go. Well, see you around, I guess, in the next video. There's still going to be like 4 or 5 more of these. Goodbye.